Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today, I want to talk about onions and garlic. Yes, this is my kitchen witch series that I like to occasionally put on. I like to come into the kitchen because I'm in the kitchen often anyway. Um, so let's jump into it. Onions and garlic, equally known for being for used in protective magic and for use in healing magic. Onions, in particular, people would sometimes cut a half an onion, put it under their kitchen sink in the cabinet. The purpose was to absorb the disease in a home, or the bad disease energy, in the home. People also would put onion, maybe a piece of onion on the bottom of the foot, or just rub it on the bottom of the foot. It's supposed to absorb disease out of the body, or as I like to say, dis-ease, because that's what it's doing. Anything that's blocking the ease of your body, your life, everything in your family and everybody in your household. Um, Once, of course, you use the onion for that purpose, you wouldn't reuse it. You would throw it out. It would have to be discarded because it's full of the dis-ease. Now, and garlic for protection. So I know I've done this. Not this house. I didn't do it in this one. No, I didn't do that in this one. But in another home that we lived in, I took some cloves of garlic and put it at 4 points of the house for for protection. I've done it on the outside. I've walked around the house and just on the 4 corners of the house. I had a big single family house. It was kind of box shaped, so it wasn't easy to do that. Um, so yeah, I've used it for that purpose also. As So again, healing and protective energy. Also, for garlic, as far as healing, people use garlic in some sort of syrup or something like that you take for usually colds. It would be usually onion and garlic. You could make a syrup with that and take that for bronchitis or flu-like symptoms and that sort of stuff. It's really good for that. So there we go. So we look at it from that point of view. So we're just talking about healing and protective qualities, actually a little bit of the mundane and the magical mixed together. So stay with me because that's what I want to talk about. Because this is Leap Taken and I'm Mika, I don't want to just talk about it in ways that we kind of already have an idea. I think most people think garlic is protective because you think vampires, it protects you. So the word protection comes into mind. Onions probably also. The strong odor makes you want to stay away. So another reason to use onion and garlic is also for hair growth. I did a video recently about knowing when your spell work part 2, and I talked about my issue after taking some medication. It resulted in thinning hair. So one of the ways that I've been on my journey to regain my hair back in those thinning spots is to use an onion and garlic oil. It's pretty simple to make. I simply just get copious amounts of coconut oil, olive oil. Coconut's cool with my hair as long as I mix it with olive oil. And I cook on a low to medium setting on the stove and then drop it a little lower for about 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. Strain the onions and garlic out, reserve the oil. I liberally apply it to my hair on wash days as a pre-poo, massaging in a thorough scalp massage. It's messy and it does smell like onions and garlic. I add peppermint oil. It smells like peppermint oil and onions and garlic. But I wash it out, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't stay in my hair, and my hair doesn't smell like onions and garlic when I'm done with the process. You have to think about it. I did that. Once I do that, I wash it. I do a deep condition, which involves sitting under a dryer on a low heat setting, and that has its own scent because I infuse that with different oils as well. So by the time I'm done, I smell like the other stuff, not the onion and garlic. So you safely use that. But anyway, I also take, of course, a magical approach. It's no different than making some sort of potion. I'm making a hair potion. So when I'm making my oils, I'm very deliberate. I'm in the zone. It's like if I was making any other sort of magical working. So I'm over there when I'm chopping the onions. I'm aligned with the purpose. I have a vision in my hair of what my hair looks like. I know what my hair looked like before. It's not like I'm looking to someone else. I know what my hair looked like when it was fuller, not that much long ago. So I'm basically holding that in, and you know, not in a way of like fear or what's the word? I guess a longing. I think, oh, it's going to be like that. Oh, well, yeah. Once it gets like that, that's great. Okay, so this is coming next. This is helping me get to that point, if not better. So I sort of kind of got that in my head as I, chop the onion and I chop up the garlic and I put it in the oil and I could smell the fragrance, and it doesn't put me off. Actually, it encourages me because I know that the properties, sulfur in the onion and selenium in the garlic, is going to be beneficial for my hair growth, which reinforces my imagery of my hair in its thicker form. Okay, then yeah, I do, once I strain it and I pour it in an applicator bottle. Um, Again, deliberate with my thinking. I may say, typically what I do, if I haven't said it in a few words, I'll say something to the effect of, so it is done as I will, or so mote it be. And it's kind of putting an end point on all that I've been building up and thinking the whole time. The energy that I'm creating to make this all work is just the action of gathering everything from the chopping um, to the mixing. All of that is energy. So yeah, that's how I approach it. And I realized that they both have healing properties, so it's going to heal the damage that's been done by that medication I was on, and protective qualities because it's also going to protect my crown as I'm going through this fragile state of trying to regrow, new hairs out of those thinning spaces. That hair has the scalp; it all has to be protected. So, from a mundane approach and a magical approach, all of that is happening. So that's the practical way I look at, and just in this case, using onions and garlic besides cooking with them. But this is how I take the magical and I guess the scientific uh, and merge it together for something that's beneficial for me, and a way to practice witchcraft in a way that makes sense to me, that's very approachable, which is another topic I want to go into. So that's pretty much what I wanted to kind of share on onions and garlic. And I just kind of want to go a little off now on magic being approachable. I I think witchcraft has become very popular. I think we probably all can agree, amongst all different people, not just women, men too, but definitely with women, especially younger women. Witchcraft is becoming very popular, and you can have theories on as to why that is. I think we all do. Have theories on that. I know I do. With that being said, as more new people are coming into practicing, I think the way to keep people practicing, not that, any of us are vested in growing witchcraft, but just speaking as someone who's been doing magic for some years now, I see people who, I've met people, they were practicing, they don't anymore. Some people go back to practicing, one of those big three, typically Christianity. Anyway, or some pseudo version of Christianity and Wicca light. There's like some mix somehow that they're practicing it, but they don't go. They kind of came in strong and they fizzled out when it came to practicing witchcraft. Which, by the way, doesn't necessarily mean Wicca or anything else. We're just gonna say witchcraft for general purposes, working magic. And I think the reason is because they're trying to practice in a way that they see imagery in books, on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. People sometimes have elaborate backgrounds with cool altars. Nothing wrong with that. I'm inspired by that stuff too. But realistically, all of us, one, you might not even want that if you really think about it. That might not be your aesthetic that you feel comfortable with. So, we kind of mold ourselves into this character we think it means to practice witchcraft, to be a witch. And because of that, that's going to wear thin. You can't keep that. It's not sustainable. You can't keep that up. So you're going to fall down. You're going to fall out. And, you might still have the attraction to practicing, but it's definitely going to be, much watered down version of what you probably would have been doing if you had taken a practical approach. A practical approach is kind of what I just talked about. I'm taking the mundane with the magical. I have an issue that I'm working on. And to take it a step further, I did a spell for hair growth last October. So part of the spell was for me to do this, apparently, because I didn't go searching for this. This kind of information kind of landed in my lap. Power of magic landed in my lap as far as how that this stuff even works for hair growth. I honestly didn't know, and someone who a friend's daughter mentioned to me to do this. I don't really talk to her daughter, I don't talk to her, but she knows that I have natural hair, and I do Ayurvedic methods and all that sort of stuff. So blah blah blah. She had an idea about that, but she felt the need to tell me, and gratefully, I received that information, and at the time I didn't even use it when she first told me, but I remembered once I realized, hey, I'm having this thinning hair issue. Oh, that's right, use that. So there you go. To me, that's still the spell working. That's taking a practical approach. It's not like or wrinkle your nose. I cannot wrinkle my nose. Wrinkle your nose like Bewitched. I'm the epitome of that. I'm a housewife, right? Home in the middle of the day. I just clean this kitchen, clean the floor, and all that. If I could have done this, I would have. Trust, I would have. But that's okay. I would like that type of magic. If it's out there, tell me how to get it. Tell me really how to get it. I'm not giving you any money, but do tell me how to do like this and my kitchen's clean. Practical approach, you clean your house, you invest the energy in doing so, because a clean house has good energy, good flow, which brings in prosperity, good health, abundance, all those things you're doing the money spells for, huh? That sort of stuff. That's the magic. That's the practical approach. That's the real witchery. It's a craft. Craft is working. I keep saying doing a working. It's work. It's energy. It's not just like that. It's not. And for the magic that we do, when it does seem to just go like that, because I've done things like that. I remember, I want to say about a year ago. Yeah, it was last year. I did a money spell. I was running short on some money and I wanted to buy something. Just to keep it honest. And I didn't want to talk about it. I just wanted the money. I usually don't have to discuss anything as far as money wise, but I had been buying things and I wanted more. So I wanted more money to justify buying it. So I put this intention out first thing in the morning that I would have it was a small amount. I just wanted $50 more to pad my pocket to get what I wanted, and not feel bad. Not I wouldn't say feel bad, but not know that I'm cutting it close. In the stash that I had. So I think I think it was like $50. It's small. But I'm frugal because I'm a stay-at-home wife. You gotta watch that sort of stuff. But, at least I do. I don't know what y'all do. This is what I do. This is how it is here. We have to care about how much we're spending. So I put the intention out, and I said something. It was, I want to say, magical chant, but it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just a couple words, something to the effect that it'll be here, it's on its way, something like that. Repeat that like a little mantra. The money is here. I just have to go get it, something like that. And by right after lunch, I had $50. Now, I had a couple things that I was selling, and I hadn't heard anything for people. It was on Facebook Marketplace. People write you, but can I see it, and then they never get back. No, right after lunch, someone said, can I come? And they gave me $50 for it, literally $50. So that spell worked within hours. So one would say that was just like that, right? Okay. That's doable. that's approachable, and that's a real thing that happened to me. So I can I know it's a real thing, and it can happen that way very quickly. What I would say is that the amount of energy, focus that you would need to do that with every spell that you do might be challenging. It might be very challenging. It's doable, but it's a drain on you when you're, man, you'd have to replenish yourself, assuming how much magic you're doing in a day, but you'd have to replenish your energy so much, whether it's your physical energy, your metaphysical type energy. Man, you'd have to really just keep replenishing because, and take lots of rest in between to wield that type of magic. That's why I wonder about people who do sell, magic practitioners. I could see selling candles because I could take energy. I could take several days and work on that, and then I rest. But doing other type of workings, it would have to be. I would be very choosy and picky about when and who and what type of magic I would be doing. When I see some of these people out here selling their services, I'm like, I can see some tarot spreads which still is draining. Tarot, some other type of divination. I would only work on certain days. I would not be able to do that every day. I don't know if I would be very successful from a business point of view, because I would be very limited, because it would be a drain doing that sort of stuff. Because I would take it seriously. I would really, if you tell me, hey, I want to have a baby, um, I can't seem to get pregnant, or if I get pregnant and I keep miscarrying, what can I do about it? Can you help me from a magic point of view? Yeah, my heart will go out to you. I will do all I could to help you. So if I got that, I'm just thinking, doing that, and then somebody else, wants this job, and, they really are in dire straits financially, and they have the skills, they just need somebody to give them a chance and to become more desirable to an employer. I'm going to want to do everything I can to help them. That's a lot of energy. And anything else in between where somebody wants whatever else they want, man, that would take its toll. But I digress. Tangent over. I digress. Um, Practical approach to magic is how you stay freaking magical, how you stay being a witch at 45, is how you stay practicing, and it still works because it's infused in all that I do, down to a freaking onion and garlic. And that's all I really wanted to say about that. So, thank you guys for watching. Again, lead taken, I'm Mika. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like. And if you haven't, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm still saying it. Happy New Year.